household. Hello, Chaos Goblins, window lickers, anybody out there who enjoys the product that we put out there. Hey, hi, how you doing? It's me, and it's Kevin Kalloway, the Chaos Goblin, here for another Monday Night Raw review show where we break down Monday Night Raw, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we would have changed, or hell, whatever the hell you want to talk about. That's usually how this show goes. It's the comments that drive this show, but it doesn't drive alone. It drives with me and my co-host Kevin Calloway. How the hell are you, my friend? What's been new with you?
Nothing new but extra back pain, and then back pain going away over the last couple days. So it's been a wild ride.
Wild ride.
But another wild ride is that the Pistons win again, and they on to the next series.
Hey,
This is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
It was unbelievable, though.
Yeah, I mean, the Pistons, they're doing some work, and they're looking like, if they didn't look like a threat before, you definitely have to be like, hey, we got to worry about these guys now. So, didn't you go to one of the games?
I did. I went. The only game that they won of the first four games was the one I was at.
Beautiful.
Which was great.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
But yeah, going through and then the Sixers somehow won the series against the Celtics, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, I trust the process, I guess, over there.
I guess.
In Philly.
I think the Sixers are going to get ran over by the Knicks now, but I thought they were going to get ran over by the Celtics too, so here we are.
That is true. The Knicks definitely always venomous in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Always got to be worried about them.
Yeah, they're cursed.
Yeah,
well, I guess Danhausen just lifted that curse. He got paid.
He did. He got paid. I do enjoy that. Him and Stephen A going back and forth. That has been something that I think has been missing in the crossover between wrestling and sports entertainment. Because I mean that's all it is. Sports. It's all sports entertainment.
It really
all
is.
of it.
The end of the day.
At the end of the day. Well, Kevin.
Speaking of entertainment,
we have brought a new segment here onto the show. It's a fun one. It's a great one. It's the Blind Rank Challenge, where we do a blind rank. We pull someone in, and we got somebody in. We got an IYH favorite, a fan favorite, somebody who's done a show, somebody who's been involved with some of the things that I've kicked around, some ideas backstage. So let's get over to it. We're going over to the old blind rank page. Here we go, Kevin. All right, there we are. We're over here. Look at that. We need a theme song over here.
Family Feud music.
Exactly. So, Kevin, before we bring Glenn on, why don't you break it down on exactly what is our blind ranking challenge?
So the blind ranking is essentially I come up with a list of 5 things. I give the topics to our guest, and they can pick a topic to go from. They don't know what comes next in each list. So each list is themed after something, but they don't know the actual order of the list or what will be on the list. So, for example, we did last week college sports teams you might hate. I left out many other college sports teams and colleges that I could have put on. I only had 5 of them. Once a place is utilized, you cannot use that place again. I do keep score at home. And I make sure that each place isn't used twice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so we reached out to a friend of IYH, Big Glenn. How are you doing, my friend? Why don't you let the fans know a little bit about yourself, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I do shows with our buddies over at Gonzo Sports Room, OG Tony and Gonzo. Those are amazing guys. We do shows Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Sometimes we'll do a once-a-month show like me and OG Tony tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. OG Tony and the Wrestling Racing Show, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so that's the once-a-month show, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, Tony has talked quite a bit about that on the Thursday show before we go live. So looking forward to tapping into that. So, Big Glenn, let me know what category you decided to go for your blind rankings that Kevin gave you before we went live. And they were wild, Glenn. So I'm looking forward to this one.
He wasn't ready.
pretty easy. The one that I went with is 5 hardest sports to play.
Hardest
Ooh.
sport to play. Ooh, perfect.
5 hardest sports to play. Now, Kevin, you know how I messed it up last week. Why don't you give a preference before we go with this so
Sure.
nobody messes it up?
Sure.
I messed it all up
So
last week.
yours was a negative on yours, so it was harder to tell. But I will preface: number 1 would be the hardest sport to play, and
Yes.
number 5 would be the easiest sport to play.
Beautiful. All right, Big Glenn, are you ready for this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's let the blind ranking begin, Kev.
Your first sport, basketball.
3.
Good quality one. B-ball here. Next is golf.
5.
Okay. Next, football.
2.
Next, hockey.
1.
All right. I respect that hockey pick at number 1.
Yeah, me
So
too.
by default, your number 4 is tennis.
Sounds fair to me.
I think
That
that's
is
a fair
pretty
list.
fair.
That's a fair
Yeah.
list. I
I-
think the only argument I would have is probably golf, only in the sense of like, it's really hard to be good at golf.
Yeah.
But I
That's
guess it
true.
isn't. It is how you indict the list as well. So it isn't a hard sport to just go and play, in the sense of like I could pick up some golf clubs and go down a course.
Yeah, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
I think I could do that, but it would be much harder to start skating innately.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
I think-
in like your retirement years, if they had like a hockey community retirement center that you could go
Absolutely.
to. Imagine that.
And you got to think
That'd be
about how
tough.
many of those hockey players in the NHL, you see their player picks on like NHL.com and ESPN and stuff. They have a whole lot of missing teeth, man. So,
Yeah, it's a hard sport, man.
Yeah.
Any of these are hard sports to be really world class at.
Oh, 100%.
I think another one that's underrated in how good you are at it is tennis, but I also think that's one you could pick up easier in the sense of I could go down the street, find a tennis court, and hit a ball around. Could I do it at a high
Really?
level? Probably not.
No,
But-
no. No, those people are whipping 80-mile-per-hour tennis balls off that racket.
Yeah.
That
Same
stuff's
like-
insane.
I didn't put it on the list, but like baseball is much harder than some people I think give it credit for because
Yeah.
they have to worry about 90-mile-per-hour balls coming at them.
us over at Gonzo Sports Room had a discussion about this. I think it was on the OG Tony show, the hot seat last week, and we was talking about baseball being one of the hardest to play because the failure rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think of the injury rate too. Like you don't stick around, especially if you're a pitcher. Like I was just having this conversation with my physical therapist, and he's like, "Yeah, Scooble's out for the season." I'm like, "Oh, Scooble's out for the season?" Speaking of the Tigers, and he's like, "Yep, he's got elbow surgery." I'm like, "Sick. That sounds great for a pitcher."
Oh, man. Yeah.
Worst case
Absolutely.
scenario in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
100% on that. All right, Big Glenn, we appreciate you stopping in and, testing the waters on our new segment. Real quick before you're out, got anything you want to plug? I know you hit some spots earlier, but go ahead and hit them again.
Yes, I was gonna say I got no problem hitting those again. Check us out over at Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. We got a show later tonight at 10 o'clock, Sports Talk. We also have OG Tony and Big Glenn, the Racing and Wrestling Show at 7 o'clock tomorrow at the same place, as well as I think we was going to have a Thursday Gonzo's Wrestling Room Heel or Face, but that's going to be tomorrow at 8 because I have plans in Watkinsville, New York for NASCAR this weekend and stuff, and Tony and those guys are going to be over at PopCon, so a little
Busy
bit
week over there.
yeah, a little bit change the schedule, obviously, but it's relatively still the same. Just a different day. So that's
Beautiful.
pretty much all I have.
All right, Big Glenn, we appreciate you stopping in and doing
thanks
some
so
blind
much.
rankings.
Yes,
And
sir.
we'll hit you up again because I like the way you answer things, man. Right to the point. He knows where he's placing things. Big Glenn, thank
Yes.
you so much. And everybody go out and check out Gonzo Sports Room. You'll enjoy it.
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful, Kevin. We got another blind ranking down and in the books. So now we just get strap in and get ready for the next one.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I have many lists left,
oh, I know you do,
and
man.
they're growing by the week.
You got so many like the, I think that's what Kevin does in his spare time is just, oh, I
Sometimes,
got another idea. Boop, boop, boop. And
sometimes
there
though.
it is. Yeah. Well, Kevin, I think WWE is under the same mindset with what they're putting out for us. They're just like, hey, boop, boop, boop. Let's see what's going to work. Kevin, we're going to have to get into Monday Night Raw and talk about it. I just did a quick rewatch through,
Uh-huh.
and it's a lot more cinematic than I think we thought it might have been last night. I think it's worth a rewatch, at least certain points. So, Kevin, let's get into Raw. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to kick off? Let's talk about it.
I mean, there's I have so many things. Like it was to a point where I legitimately don't know if I was entertained about halfway through it. In the sense of like I like to come on here and be positive. I like to
Mm-hmm.
look at the things they're trying to do and try and get on those fronts. But there's some of the direction I'm seeing right now, especially with some of the stuff happening behind the scenes and everything, just I don't know if they know what they're doing or if they're changing it so much that it's jarring to me.
Yeah.
I think that might be the second one might be the largest answer. Uh let's just start with Roman, I guess.
Okay.
Let's start with Roman. We'll start at the end for this one. And that one's the freshest in my mind right now because and I think I said this in the chat earlier today or late last night. I'm already kind of not soured completely,
Mm-hmm.
but we now have a champion who I near guarantee you will not be wrestling week to week. There, he is going to wrestle on pay-per-views and PLEs, and
Yeah.
that's how you see him. And we had a champion who was wrestling week to week in CM Punk. Maybe was it every week? Not necessarily, but it was a fair number of weeks at least. Right now we're getting Roman just coming out and talking and trying to sell matches just by talking, but we're not seeing a match out of him or physicality or anything like that. And it feels like UFC to me, not WWE. And because of that, like we're not seeing our champions go. We're not seeing our champions go week to week. We're not seeing them really progress anything other than just kind of like talking at each other. And that's as far as a world champion. Now the other championships have other things going on, sure, especially the Intercontinental title. But it's to me, I'm just not seeing the direction for Roman right now
Yeah.
because he's just coming out. Every time he comes out, he makes me hate him more. Is he supposed to be the baby face? Because he seems like a prick.
That's a fair question. And
Because
Nevin,
he's
we see you in the chat. Hi, how are you doing?
yeah.
Let us know what show
I'm
you're
ready for
going to.
NXT too.
And we are,
I'm
yes,
curious. I'm
we're
curious where they're going to go with NXT, but that's a whole other conversation, I suppose.
100%.
But with Roman specifically, voice, I don't know where you're kind of at with this, but for me, Roman feels like the heel here, and it's starting to mix the crowd too much
Hmm.
because Jacob Fatu is supposed to be the heel based on how they're booking it, right? He's the one attacking, he is the aggressor, but he's talking about trying to feed his family
Yeah.
and to try and put his kids in good schools. And Roman just is like, wow, your kids are one of many kids. I try to think of 100 kids. And it's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's the Peace Corps, Roman Reigns, Peace
He
Corps.
sounds like a politician. I don't want
Yeah.
politician Roman Reigns.
Well, yeah, I understand exactly where you're at. And I guess from my point of view, I kind of seen them doing this when TKO took over. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted more of, like you said, a UFC atmosphere. And the guy right now who holds that title and can convey that persona the most is Roman. It wasn't CM Punk.
I agree with that.
CM Punk was our wrestling fans champion. That's who
Mm-hmm.
we want because he's there. If he's not in a match, guess what? He's pushing that storyline.
Yeah.
Roman's coming out here, and you're 100% right. I think they have completely not. It's almost like hearing NASA say, "We forgot how to get to the moon." And when they write for Jacob Fatu, it's like, well, we forgot how to keep him over like this. Well, you just let Jacob be crazy. That's how you keep him over as a heel. And you obviously don't have Roman going out there. I think of the hundreds of children. Guess who does that? That's John Cena words. That's not Roman Reign words. He needs to be talking about the village of children that rely on him. Something like that. Not a
He
whole world.
kind of got at that because he's like, I'm thinking of all the bloodlines family and all of my family and all of this family and all the family tree. And it's like family, 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 family. He sounded like Vin Diesel from Fast and the Furious at this point. He's like,
Well,
it's all about family, family,
dude,
family. We ride for the family. Dog,
that's
like,
so
I get it. It's part of the largest storyline you've been a part of, and it got you over as the tribal chief. And
yeah,
I don't even disagree with reutilizing it, but the way they're going about it to me, Jacob Fatu, and I heard this come off of another podcast. Shout out to Jim Cornette, because I didn't think about it this way until he had said it. Jacob Fatu right now, or sorry, I'll start with Roman. With Roman and Punk, it seemed like TKO had their tweeners together, their baby faces, and said, okay, baby faces and faces don't, or baby faces and heels don't matter. We can make anything work.
yeah,
But that only works for your icons and your stars. You can put Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes and people will boo or cheer based on who they've liked for the years. You can do that with Punk and Roman, same thing. You could do that with Brock, and you could do that with John Cena, and you could do that with Gunther, and you could do that with guys who are established, Drew McIntyre. But Jacob Fatu right now is still in the stages of becoming that star. And
yes,
because of that, if you blur the lines, you are taking away from his reaction and ultimately starting to take away what he has. You need to have something definitive for him so that he can get over first. Then you can start toying with that idea.
yeah. I 100% agree with you. That's why I think they should have kept Fatu destroying Solo's bloodline
Yeah.
because that's the easiest route to get Jacob
Could have
on.
rode off Tongaloa and JC Mateo real easy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, with Jacob, I go back to Austin's beginning when he came out and at the King of the Ring, he made his statement, which cemented the start of the Austin era.
Mm-hmm.
There was still people for the first year that were on the fence about Steve Austin being the champion and going after because who was he going after? It was Bret Hart.
Yep.
Bret Hart was the darling of WWF at the time. It's things like that. Like you don't need Jacob going at Roman yet. I don't need it. I absolutely, and we've talked about this for weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
And Nevin, I see that you're going to Backlash. That's
awesome.
awesome.
By the way, Navin.
Yeah, have a fucking banger of a time. Don't
card
listen to any of the critics.
The card itself looks good.
Yeah.
We're articulating the build and where we're going.
Yeah. And this show is specifically about Monday Night Raw. And if you watch our AEW show, we're just as critical. But is glaring now with WWE to us where they're at. And House, I seen what you said here. I'm not a fan of it either. The way they've changed Jacob so rapidly is not, it's, as a fan of his, it's not helping him in the least bit. What helps Jacob is you just allow Jacob to be Jacob. That is what got him to the dance. That is what got him to get forgiven by so many people who swore up and like we can go into the Wayback Machine. Yeah, it's a thing on the internet, and I can type in these people's names, and we can pull up all their posts from recent things with Jacob Fatu. And long ago, I hate him. I'll never cheer him on. Blah blah. And
Yep.
now they're one of his biggest fans. So what I'm saying is there's a natural element, and when you do things like this, especially with guys like Jacob, you squander that, and that seed doesn't get to grow.
And that's kind of nail on the head for me too, is like, if you can't allow that seed to grow and you don't trust it to keep going, what were you doing here in the first place? And if you're not careful with some of these guys, you're going to run into issues in getting a new star over in general. They got lucky with Oba and Trick.
100, they're
Fell into
unicorns.
their lap. And you're always going to have unicorns. But it's the people that are around those unicorns, because the unicorns need to stab people with those horns and win and conquer and do things. If they don't have those people, if you mishandle a Javon Evans, he isn't a unicorn in the sense of like he doesn't have the look right away. You have to build into him.
Great point.
Sol Ruka doesn't have the look right away. You have to build into her. You have to give them those practices. You have to give them those things. Ethan Page is another one. Fortunately, he has a lot of training outside of this, so he might be able to get over regardless. But then you also have guys who need more care, like a Ricky Saints, and they're just bringing him up. You have a Jordine Grace who needed to look a little stronger when she came up, and now where is she? Like, we don't. It just doesn't seem like they have a plan. And I get that, like, in the before times of TKO, with old VKM himself, Vinnie Mac, he didn't always have a good plan either.
Well,
But he tended to have guys in mind that he would try to ride and do things with, and guys that he saw something in when they were coming up. Now, whether he was right can be debated.
100%.
Omos is currently down in AAA for probably for a bit of a reason. Not that he's a bad dude, but like they pushed him too quick, too fast, and then they didn't get the return.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't scream like they have a good plan.
No.
And I don't know how much TKO messes with booking and what edicts they're giving them. I know there's a lot of internet rage towards Triple H. Think of Triple H as the figurehead that you can blame, because it's probably not all him.
That's where I'm at with him.
He's the guy. He's the fall guy at this point.
Yep.
And believe me when I tell you, you could probably mark this 2 to 3 years from now, he won't be the fall guy anymore.
Nope.
I don't think he'll be there.
I don't think so either. And I said this on the Sunday episode with House. You dove into it a little more and, made some more statements about it, but that's exactly where I'm at. Triple H is nothing more than the guy that you can yell at because of the decisions being made. He gets told what's happening because here's the thing to me, Kevin. If it wasn't the guy who was the co-host with Taker on 6 Feet Under before Taker's wife.
Is it Matt? I think
yeah.
that was Matt. Yeah,
So,
I like it. He's good.
He had a
still has
rant.
his own podcast too.
Yeah, and I shared a clip.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
on the Joshua Joseph Facebook page, and it made a lot of sense because if you look at the landscape right now, it is not a wrestling mindset landscape. It's a let's make the money that I need to make landscape because of look at the decisions being made. Ricky Saints, for example, I love what Hal said. It feels like he's going to get lost in a shuffle because he will, because he's not down. Yes, I don't think they should have taken him out of NXT yet. They haven't built him up enough in NXT yet. People aren't chanting for Ricky. And when he came up, the only spot he should have even come sniffing towards was maybe the IC. And that's just because who's all around it. It has nothing to do with Ricky. It's just the fact that you would be able to get him in there to do moves with some of those guys and get his name popped. they're burning these guys out way too quick. We talked about what they should do with Oba, and they should take them off and only bring them out towards pay-per-views. Kevin, you had a great breakdown of that the other week, and it really stuck in my head with Oba. He needs to be off television until you need him for pay-per-views, and then that's when he comes out and he destroys the world. That's all you need from him, especially right now.
It's hard with Oba too, because I can see where the thought process is with this open challenge, and I guess we'll just spiral into the other thing that I still have a bit of an issue with.
Love it.
But with Oba, and I want to get to that comment specifically because I have some feelings on that. But I want to talk about Oba first, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Oba specifically, it's easier to build monsters as heels than it is as faces. And the reason that is because think back to Brock. We keep comparing Oba to Brock. And early Brock, not now Brock.
Yeah.
Early Brock would just come out during matches and destroy the match, right?
Yeah.
But he was a heel. Heels can do that. They can just come out and attack people. And then eventually the booker in the back or the figurehead or the general manager, whoever you have as the on-screen character for that or whoever has that role, the commissioner at some point during the WWE's lifespan, they would come out and say, okay, you can't be trusted. We're going to put you in a contracted match. That works. But when you're trying to build a monster as a baby face, they can't just come out and kill matches.
No.
Because at some point, they're going to kill someone that people like. And then you're going to start having diminishing returns with that. So I think it would have been better, instead of an open challenge, to have people essentially be forced to face Oba. And they don't want to face Oba. And then Oba, this is a way to keep him on TV. You could have done that. Oba's in the back. He hears something cross. They were doing this for a while, and it was working. He hears something cross from a heel. The heel goes, oh, shit, I didn't mean that, Oba. And Oba goes, yeah, you did. I'll see you in the ring. Yeah. And then they go, no, I don't want to. And then the commissioner or Adam Pearce or whoever just goes, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And now we have a match that isn't just people walking up to Oba and saying, you know what? I would like to die tonight.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And Fighting's One's hitting it on the head here, too. He was saying exactly what you were saying they should do with him. You know, I agree. If you're going to keep him on TV and you're going to build him, it's things like that. Those things matter. This isn't...
Details matter.
Exactly. Look, we know wrestling, in the terms I'm about to use, is real because they go out there and they trust each other to be able to perform these moves with each other. Kevin, am I out of pocket for saying that?
Nope, that's right.
Okay. But in the sense of the storytelling, it is all scripted. It is all talked about. It is all said, hey, what works best for both of us so we can get this story over. That's the missing part. When you pretend that these guys are actually UFC fighters and they're going to go out there and they're actually going to beat the hell out of somebody, you have told the audience you are too dumb to understand what we're doing, and we're just going to put it out there. And this is how we want you to see it. When you're doing stories and you're telling things behind the stage and seeing, we get to see it, and we get to determine if we're riding with this guy or we're riding with that guy. When you take all that out, you're killing the fan. The fan is gone then.
You run into a lot more issues if you don't have care for the story and you're just putting guys out there. And I think we're getting more into matchup booking territory, and we're booking matchups before we have a story in mind.
Yes.
And I think this is also where AEW suffers a lot of the time, where they're like, oh, I want this dream match. How are we going to get there? But to double back here, just a second, to the TKO and the WWE, like differentiating them, Fightin' has actually my opinion. How do you separate them? They are one and the same now. And I hate to say that as a longtime WWE fan, but they are one and the same. to critique WWE is to critique TKO, and to critique TKO is to critique WWE. They are the same entity now. There is no separating them. It's not how it happens.
Yeah.
And any critique we have for WWE is forced onto TKO too. The only reason we can differentiate to some extent is because we had a long time prior. So really what we're differentiating is the pre-TKO era and the post-TKO era is really what we're differentiating. Because at this point, we're securely in the post-TKO era.
Yeah. Oh, man. I go back to the days of when we were hearing that there's a possibility Vince is stepping away, and it looked like Trips had the reins. And we were getting new things. We were getting exciting moments. We were getting Pyro back. There were so many things happening. And then TKO stepped in. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it a chance because we don't know. Maybe this is a huge fan. Maybe we got a Tony Khan AEW guy. And yes, I know you can say what you want about Tony, but he absolutely adores his AEW fans.
He at least has a large passion for it, if nothing else.
Exactly. And that is the thing. All you want to say about Vince, say it. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, wrestling was 90% of his DNA. The dude understood wrestling. That's what he understood. That's how he was able to be able to give us the products, to build the titans and the queens that we fell in love with. I mean, do you guys honestly think that without Vince we would have ever seen China? We would even ever heard of Joni? No, there's absolutely no way. House hit you with a question that I know you wanted to touch upon, Kevin. I don't want to drift too far off with my ramblings, so let's go back to it.
It's been quite a while since we've been down on WWE. Oh, no, I hit the one. I hit it. Moving forward to differentiate between WWE and TKO. It wasn't necessarily a question. It was more of a statement.
Got you. Okay.
And
Fighting's one just... Okay.
In the sense of like, man, I just don't know where we go from here. I truly just do not. And House is right. No booker is perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own biases. Everyone has their own thoughts, and no one's 100% spot on with booking. It just doesn't happen. You're going to have some dropped balls. And House is also right in the sense of TKO is the people who control WWE, and WWE has to say, for lack of a better term, yes, daddy to them. And I know WWE wouldn't normally make those decisions because there's enough people in there that know the business of it. And I believe it was Triple H on, I want to say it was Cody Rhodes' podcast, kind of alluded to nobody understands the shit that they have to book through. And I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say it like that. But I got the context of you don't know how many like things are going on in the back that you have to worry about booking. To me, that implies that there's somebody somewhere who's giving them edicts of push this person, don't push this person, use this person, don't use this person. We need this person here, we need this person there.
It's code.
It's wrestler code. I've heard these interviews before.
Yeah.
And they're real good at it. And Triple H is one of the best.
Exactly.
Cody is also a really good one at it.
He is 100%.
Except when he doesn't give a fuck, which I find more.
And that's usually what, a couple drinks in?
Yeah. But realistically, like, it just seems like it isn't the same decision-making process, even that it was a year ago.
I don't think so either.
So I don't want to harp on it too much longer because we do have more Raw to cover, and that's why we're here ultimately.
Yeah.
But going forward, man, I'm going to have such an eye of scrutiny on what goes down, especially with everything that's going with releases, everything that's going on with restructurings. And it also came out in the news, and I saw this graphic. Do you want to know how the TKO executive salaries went up? Yep, it's going to make it worse.
Well, and we
About
don't hide. So go ahead,
no,
Kevin.
it was about 3 times more for Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, and I forget the other name. But they went from like
Mark
16
Shapiro.
million. Mark Shapiro. They went. I think Ari Emanuel specifically went from like 16 million to like 60 million salary, and Nick Khan went from like I don't know 4 to 12. Like we're talking huge bumps in salary. So, and then we're seeing a bunch of people lose their stuff and
Yeah.
have to drop their money so that, The Rock can walk in with the gate on his hand, as I saw it said, because he had a $3.3 million watch on walking into the Met Gala.
To even eat at the Met Gala is like I think $100,000 a plate.
Yeah.
It's insane. This is what we talk about in other circles when you start to see the Rome start to crumble because
Yeah.
the ones that are at the top are just flashing what they have in front of us while we watch the ones that we absolutely love. And it's so goddamn mind. It just kicks me in the head because there was one time I remember Rocky Maivia coming through trying to get over and everybody being like, you fucking suck. He listened to us. He turned it around. He became one of the most captivating human beings to be in a ring. And then this, like, when we heard your name associated with it, at least for me, I'll speak for me, fans. I was like, wrestling is in good hands. If it's out of a McMahon hands, at least it's in Hunter's hands somewhat. And I know The Rock, who cut his teeth with us, is there at the helm also to help make decisions. But look where we're at, Kevin. Yeah,
I don't
I
have a
know.
defense for corporations.
Yeah,
I just don't. But we'll keep moving along
yeah.
and we'll
Let's
keep going. So let's talk about a positive. How about a positive with Raw?
okay. I got a positive. If you
Hit
got a
me, hit me with the
positive,
positive because I bet ours might be the same.
I absolutely loved this Asuka and it was EO video package that went back
Yes,
and
I
forth.
did like that.
I was, dude. It took me. It took me on a anime ride. It took me on a uh, old school like gosh, I forget the director's name. Guy Ritchie,
Hmm.
an old school Guy Ritchie mixed with Japanese mafia movie. Like
Okay.
I was blown away with this whole thing. Kevin, you hit me with what you were at.
I I know how I sounded about it after everything. I think it was last week actually we talked about it. The video package helped.
Yeah,
And it turns out like when you put together that kind of thing and you put together all of a history of something and you put it to a good video package, like WWE has always done good video packages.
yeah.
They started gatekeeping them behind premium services, which I hated. But
Mm.
when you see one of these, like, there's a reason these get you hyped up. And there's a reason they get you going, and they do it so well. Man, if you really want to do UFC shit here, we need more of these video packages. We need more fight packages. Because UFC does this incredibly.
Good one,
And it,
Fighting's one.
John Woo, yep.
Yeah,
But they do this incredibly, and WWE does it incredibly. If you can do that and you give us this after a commercial break, before a commercial break, don't just like have this and then just gate it behind a commercial break because most of us aren't seeing that shit.
yeah,
I guarantee you the public perception of the match would go better. I guarantee you because you're already hyping them up for it and you're giving it to them.
yeah.
Take your commercial breaks right after the goddamn last match. Come back, video package, go to the match right away. Everyone's going to feel better about it because when the match is over and they're done with their product placements and they're done with whatever's, they go to commercial, I can walk and get a beer.
Yeah,
Then I can come back and watch a video package of the guys that are coming up and not hear Michael Cole talk about it for a minute, not hear Corey Graves talk about it for a minute. I don't need their minute putting over.
Yeah.
Give me 2 to 3 minutes of video package. Cut the fucking long entrances or whatever you need to do. Give me those video packages. Stat. Put them in my veins.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you public perception is going to look a lot better and more fondly on it.
100%, because you're making it so easy to digest for the common fan when you do it like that.
And you're also bringing in people who don't look at it week to week.
Exactly.
Because now they don't have to watch week to week.
Exactly.
They can just see the video package. Doug, I've been watching through some of the old pay-per-views. I've been mentioning this in the chat. I think I mentioned it on here a couple times. I don't remember dick all of shit from any of the stories. But they give me video packages for everything.
Yes.
And when I get a video package, you go, oh, yeah, that's right. That's how this went down. Oh, let's go. And then I'm in the match.
Dude.
It took a minute.
Dude, we sat during the Squared Circle Expo when we were back at home base, and we were all watching pay-per-views from back then. And we every last person commented, oh, the video package. Oh, remember, we're going to see it in the video. Like, that's how you keep the general audience attached to the product. It's so easy to do, but again, it's those things that they're missing when you don't have somebody who's like, I love wrestling.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of people who love wrestling, but their hands are tied. Is the problem? They have a lot of people who love wrestling in the company, because I guarantee you, almost everybody in the back loves wrestling.
Yeah.
Triple H very much included.
Oh,
but there's almost nobody in the boardroom who makes the decisions, who brings it down, that does.
Yes. And that's who I am directing that at, guys. I'm not trying to direct it at anybody. I would walk to the gates of hell for Triple H, and I don't care who knows it. He is one of my absolute. He is my actual growing up Ric Flair. Without the like, I got to see my own personal Ric Flair be built.
I would argue that is an apt comparison. Think about how many stars Triple H helped make.
There's so many.
He may have held down some too.
Yeah.
But that might not have been a him decision either.
And he was held down also for making a decision of people he loved, and he came up with in this business.
Honestly, I could see him overcorrecting on that front after he made that mistake to not make any more. So then he just, instead of fighting for things, he would just say, bet, that's what's happening. And he just towed the line for a long time.
It was an easier road to go.
Yep.
I mean, and we can discuss that on a whole nother topic, show, things
Need
like
a special episode for that.
Yeah, because I think we could get into a really good discussion on that one. Kevin, okay, so I gave something that fired me up. Let's hear what fired you up about this Raw.
They continue to book the IC title in interesting ways. I appreciate this. Now, not everyone is a fan of the IC champ getting pinned, in the sense of, like, in a tag match, the IC champ gets pinned.
Yeah.
And I like it because there's always a way to give him an out. And they kind of did.
Yeah.
When chaos ensues in a tag match and someone takes an advantage, let's say his name is Ethan Page, you get something that works, and you get a pinfall that could happen, and then there's a threat to the champion, right?
Yes.
If he can pin the champ now, can he pin the champ later? Champions don't need to go undefeated while they're champions. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a fallacy due to UFC, actually. UFC champions, they get beat, they lose the title, right? They get beat, they lose the title. They get beat, they lose the title. Most sports are that way too. You're in the playoffs now, you got beat, you're not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a very black and white mentality. But for wrestling, I think the key to it is you don't want same match types where the guy gets pinned. And what I mean by that is a tag match is actually a gimmick match. Do you know what the gimmick of a tag match is, Voice?
What is that?
The tag. The tag is the gimmick.
Oh, okay. You smartened me up.
Work the gimmick. If you work the gimmick, it's a different match.
Yeah.
So if you think about it that way, Penta didn't lose in a singles match. He lost to 2 other guys, not to 1. He just had a teammate.
Man, you just gave me a whole different perspective of tag team matches.
Yeah. Tag matches are gimmick matches.
Especially if it's like a 6-man and you have a champion in there with an already established tag. Holy man, you just blew my mind.
That's why we always had like if you had Taker and Rock against the Dudley Boys, because they did a feud like that. The singles stars won one time, right?
Yeah.
They had put it on Rock and Taker. But then the Dudleys won after. Why? Because the Dudleys got shocked by the 2 main event guys, sure. But they're the gimmick masters.
Yeah.
They're the tag team. They should be winning in their gimmick match. Much like if New Jack had a fans bring the weapon match, who do you think is probably going to win?
New Jack.
New Jack. It's his gimmick.
No, man, that makes that wow. Yeah, I never thought of it.
Taker walks into a casket match. Who do you think is going to win?
It's Taker.
Taker.
He's got to win. It's his match. Yeah.
It's his match.
No, and I mean honestly, now that I think about it, that's what got me in the loop with Jericho coming back at Elimination Chamber. It was his match that he built, so it made perfect sense in the storytelling. Yeah, I fucking love that, man. Yeah, and honestly, real quick, I want to get into Ethan Page.
Oh yeah,
I want to hit his whole presence so far. We're seeing him in ring. He's doing fantastic work. He's getting over. Fans are responding to him. We're also seeing backstage, if you follow his social medias, fans are really connecting with him. He is trying to get his gimmick over with the smile. He's trying to get podcasters to do it when they do photo ops. I just want to say, Ethan Page is like a breath of fresh air when it comes to talent. And it's a really good breath when it's coming off the breath of fresh air we had with Javon Evans, Oba, and all those guys hitting the main roster. So, Kevin, I just want to hear your insight real quick on Ethan Page, what you're liking, what maybe you might be doing different. Where are you at with Ethan Page?
Maybe I'm biased. I've met the man before, and I've seen him work, and I've spoken with him a little bit. He has always had a mind to be in WWE. He didn't always have the body and the work ethic of it, in the sense of like he transformed his body a ton to go to WWE next.
100%.
And he put in a lot of work to get there. And you know, shout out to I believe he runs Alpha One and the training school up there. So shout out to Alpha One. I've seen the products come out of there too. That's also a testament to him. And he knows how to not just put this together for himself, but how to help people put it together and how to get better as well. That's a trainer mindset. He's got a mind for this business. And I have no doubt in the world he's going to succeed if they give him a platform. And right now they're giving him a platform and he's succeeding. So shocker, I'm proven right in that.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And the reason he's a breath of fresh air for me, Ethan Page, unlike Trick Williams to me, who's the only one I can really compare it to right now, because Oba came up as a babyface, Javon came up as a babyface, Jordynne Grace came up as a babyface, Ricky Saints is probably coming up as a babyface at this point, or a nothing. Hopefully he gets some crowd reactions that are nice.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry comes up as a babyface. Sol Ruca comes up as a babyface. All of these people are coming up as babyfaces. Trick Williams came up as a heel. But the problem with Trick Williams is that you need just as strong a face to put him with, or else he's going to become a face because he's cool.
Yeah.
And they put him with Sammy, who they thought would be a strong face, until he fucked over Carmelo, and now he's not a face. It's a whole dichotomy.
Yeah.
Trick was doing not a bad job when he was with people like Randy Orton, because they were a more over face than he is. But when you start putting him with someone who's now a tweener / going into heel mode, he ain't a heel no mo.
No.
He's just not.
No.
And he's the one that screwed over Carmelo. and it didn't matter to the crowd because they just blamed Sammy anyway. Why?
Yeah.
Because Sammy was less over as a face at that point. He's less charismatic than Trick. Trick is going to be a face. Come on.
Yeah.
Ethan Page, though. Back to Ethan and the topic at hand. He is working pure heel. And it's a breath of fresh air to me that someone could come up from NXT and be a pure heel instead of just like, oh, crowd, oh, what a time to be alive. It's that guy. No, he goes up there and he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And then he gets the reactions that he's an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, he nails it. He nails what he's supposed to do. And he's a master at making the crowd bend to whatever he's trying to present. They fall for what Ethan Page is out there doing. It's exactly like Trick. You cannot deny Trick's overall coolness. And that factors in when you're in a company in which you're the product. Whatever you do is the product. And for some reason, whatever it may be, Trick Williams is always going to be cool. It's just that. Like, that's what it is.
Charisma's huge on that front, man.
It really is. It's like, liken it to if you would have took all of the charisma out of Harlem Heat and all of the charisma out of their managers that they had throughout the years, would Harlem Heat be a top talked about tag team? No, because they were something different. It wasn't the idea of a bunch of producers and writers of the image that they were trying to present. That was just them.
Yeah.
And you can't teach that. That's just something you can't teach, and you just have it. All right, Kevin, let's do a quick rundown. Was there anything else that you kind of enjoyed from this Raw? You're looking forward to a little more storytelling too?
I just continue to enjoy Joe Hendry and his chicanery.
He's good.
He's just good. I think House brought this up. Was it a little tone deaf for him to sing about firing Logan Paul when all the releases were happening? I could see that being taken that way. To me, it's reading a little bit too much into it because he's sung songs like this before.
Yeah. And plus,
timing's never good on this, though. And whenever you're singing about firing someone, you risk alienating somebody who was just recently fired. So you do take that risk no matter what, because people are fired every day.
That's 100% true. I think, though, there's enough natural heat outside the ring for Logan Paul that there's a lot more people on the other side. It didn't matter. And I think that's where you could have took that swing. But I do understand where everybody's coming from on that.
Yes, I see the connection.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying Joe Hendry. I think they're presenting him in a way that works. And I appreciate that they're keeping him and Danhausen apart. Because we need to keep those two apart, and we need to keep Danhausen and Truth as much apart as possible. I think just keeping them as separate comedy acts until they come together for one supernova of a comedy would be good.
I love it.
I think we end up overexposing Danhausen if we stay the path with him, in the sense of we're just getting too much of him. Now, granted, it's entertaining almost every single time. But at some point, it becomes a law of diminishing returns. So I think just, can we be careful about Danhausen?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you on that.
I popped so hard when the Creed brothers were in fucking masks.
That was pretty good.
So hard. And they called him Julio and Bruto. And just, what the hell is happening? But I can see the pieces. You know, this is why I can see the pieces. The Creed brothers down in AAA are currently unmasked, not masked. Only OG Americano is masked. To me, that screams Chad Gable's about to lose this mask versus mask and then go back to Chad Gable, and we can have American made again. I liked American Made. Can we
I
do
did too.
something with them? I wasn't always the largest fan of the Creed brothers or Ivy Nile singularly as entities, but altogether as the American Made package, I think they all had legs to some extent.
I agree.
And man, if we go back to that and give Chad Gable a little bit of something, that'd be great. I'm just
I
worried that all of them, once this mask versus mask is done, will be directionless, and that's just a general concern I have for a lot of people.
I can see that. I just real quick. I hope
Yeah, go ahead.
if they do bring them back together, they give Ivy a platform to be able to present herself
Yeah,
in however she wants to be presented, and
Mhm.
let her swing.
Yeah.
If she's got an idea, let her swing with it,
Just let her
because
swing at it.
everybody you have behind her in that position is going to help.
Yeah.
They will help get it over. You just
Mhm.
have to trust in that, and she has to
Just
trust in herself too.
there is that as well, and just people need some platform here or there. We're just not getting. Man, it feels like there's less TV time than ever for people to actually do things with, and I might be wrong in that. In the sense of like, I don't know what the actual average ad time was for WWE Raw in I don't know 2009, because even that was more than like the 90s. But right now, I don't know what kind of TV time they're working with, but man, if we could get some shorter matches and more TV time for some other people to build up, that'd be great for when we rotate people. Because
No,
otherwise, we just have the people who are over.
yeah, because aren't we coming up to the draft, or are they not doing that anymore? Or
Dog
I
item.
mean, yeah, and who's
Very
to say that?
non-specific.
Yeah, it's gonna get weird in the next few months. I
The
feel
summer is going to
SummerSlam.
be very telling for TKO and
Oof,
WWE because summer, now keep in mind, summer is usually the low season where they try some new shit and see what happens.
yeah,
That is usually their experimental period because from SummerSlam to Mania, they're basically setting up Mania pieces. But from Mania to SummerSlam, they don't set up dick all the shit except for
yeah.
like maybe King of the Ring and Money in the Bank, depending on when they're having it. But
That's a
even
fair
that,
point.
like, you could have someone win King of the Ring and not win a title. You could have someone win Money in the Bank and not win a title. You can have anyone do anything. So you could bail out of those plans. It's harder to bail out of a Mania main event.
100%, especially when you're building.
Way harder to bail out of that.
Yeah,
So I think we're going to see a lot of experimental things. We're going to see some. We're going to see some stuff that happens, and we just look at and go, and that's kind of what we're seeing now. It's just paired with other things that we don't like happening behind the scenes.
yeah,
Because we would be feeling this way about the product pretty much no matter what right now. Maybe they're going in some kind of weirder direction, but like this time of year is always the time of year where like they're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. We throw something against the wall.
yeah.
That's
And
why so many people, Jey Uso and Kofi specifically off the top of my head, they both won titles at Mania for their respective Manias, but they went into a summer season. And then they went into a summer season, and that's the low season. So
Yeah.
they didn't get as much momentum or get as much over because of that. They weren't doing anything.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That is a very fair point. Yeah, we'll have to stay in, put a pin in it, see where
Mm-hmm.
we go. I mean that what you just said though does give me a little hope for the summer,
Yeah.
that possibly they're going to try something that's going to entertain me, and I'm
Yeah.
going to be, you know, hooked onto the product. I still am. I'm still going to tune in every
I'm
show.
still tuning in, brother. I'm
We just
playing
have
more
questions.
games and I've been paying a little less attention, only in
Yeah.
the sense of like it's on the side of the screen, but maybe I'm doing a Hades 2 run.
Yeah, I mean, I built up my collection in 2K 26, so,
Mm,
and that was during Raw. I felt a
there
little
you go.
bad, but I will say that video package with Asuka and
Hooked you
Io,
in.
it grabbed me and it made me hit pause. So if you're doing that, you made me hit pause. There's at least something good you're doing with the product. Kevin, overall results for this Raw, and then we'll get out of here and let everybody enjoy the rest of their night.
Am I giving it a grade? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, let's grade it.
I hate when I have to give a lower grade. Um, Maybe this is harsh, but I'm going to say a D plus.
Ooh,
I don't think it was a complete failure, but I'm going to need a little less talky and a little more punchy from some of our main event guys. And not like Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker's punchies where they just like attacked each other. Like, I get
yeah,
it. It's supposed to be a blood feud. They hate each other. Just put Breaker in a fucking match against somebody. Just put Seth in a goddamn match against somebody. Then
yeah,
have the other guy come out. It's really not that hard. The match doesn't have to go more than 2 minutes.
yeah. No,
Give somebody a rub to face Seth Rollins for 3 minutes. He loses, or Braun Breaker comes out and destroys the match. Look, we
yeah.
did it.
I mean, even Braun just yelling Seth's name during a match with somebody else would be, you could get over.
Yeah. There's just a lot of things that we can get over and just a lot of things that we can do. And I just don't know what they're doing with it. So I think I'm gonna say a D plus. I think D plus makes the most
It
sense
looks
to me
like
right now.
there we go.
I think D plus makes the most sense to. Don't worry, I held it down for the underground.
I figured you
D
did.
plus D plus makes the most sense to me. It wasn't a total failure, wasn't a total flop, but I came out with more questions than answers, but not questions about storylines, questions about why.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like your grading on it. It's honest, and that's what we need to be. I'm gonna give them a C minus. And honestly, you're getting that by a curve because you got me with that video package. That video package seriously saved it. And plus, even though I know you can create as much energy and heat from the Seth and Braun feud by doing exactly what we talked about with Braun and putting him in with somebody else, even if he's yelling Seth's name, you're still getting that over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can go that route because then it reduces injuries and things like that.
Yeah.
So again, a C minus, but you know what, you guys, we know the WWE has the potential as long as they quit making cuts. Just fucking stop the cuts, especially
You know,
if
I
you're
don't
increasing.
I don't like cuts. In the sense that I don't like when people lose their jobs. I understand cuts. I don't understand them when I'm seeing record profits and record
Yes,
CEO salaries.
me
So if
too.
I wasn't seeing those and those were staying stagnant, I would say, here we are.
Yeah,
Uh, they're making cuts. There's always a rotation of roster. That's natural for wrestling. I understand that there are fans of these people and they thought they should do more with them and all of these things. And I don't disagree, but someone has to get cut at some point.
true.
But when you're making record profits,
Mm,
and you're making record salaries for the people in the boardroom, but the boys can't have any part of that, and in fact, they have to take less money. That's when you start getting pissy, Kevin.
yeah. Yeah, and that honestly, I think that's why maybe this Raw hit a lot of people differently. And the fair takes
They're
on
under
the
more scrutiny.
product,
They're under more scrutiny going forward.
and yeah, I think that's where I should be at with that thought. You're going to be under more scrutiny when you're doing things like that, and you just can't pass off a Raw, especially leading into Backlash. There's
Mhm.
so many of us that look forward to this pay per view right after Mania because of the men and women who put in a lot of the work to get this pay per view
Mhm.
so big and so meaningful in the story of wrestling. Kevin, I think we've given WWE a good tongue lashing on this one,
I think we
and
have.
as Jones would say, pause. We definitely lit them up with our thoughts on this one, and we had a great discussion with you, the household. So thank you guys for joining in here. Fighting's one. You're always a champ. We absolutely love you. House, you're the boss. We understand. We understand, and you had a lot of great points too, man. Because I think we're all to a point to where we're questioning why. And when you start questioning why, you're not telling me a good enough story. So,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, let them know where they can find you. I know you're going to be dabbling in some more streaming coming up.
I will be. Not this week, though. I have a bachelor party to attend out in Kentucky.
Ooh,
That'll
Tom
be fun.
Hanks.
But you can always follow me on Kevin Kalloway on Facebook, Kalloway Kevin on Instagram. Follow the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Kevin Kalloway Pro. I'll be back probably. I think I'm going to have a more fleshed out time. I'm going to keep my roguelike Fridays because I've liked them.
Yes.
I don't know what roguelike I'll play next week. But I think I'm going to bring up Tuesdays, and those Tuesday streams will just go right into this show right here, buddy boy. So
Beautiful.
I'll probably have that schedule going forward for streams. So 4 o'clock on both of those days. And then keep to the socials. I might just drop another one here or there if I'm feeling froggy.
Beautiful. And Kevin, since we both stream on Twitch, you'll be able to do a where you just dump your fans into our
Yeah.
chat right at the beginning. Yeah.
Soon.
So
People who follow this YouTube channel, they follow the IYH pages. Soon you will be getting my pretty face on straight onto your feeds instead of having to find me.
yes, Kevin will be officially streaming through the In Your House streams. So soon you will be able to catch him on the In Your House pages. So you'll be able to stay in touch with Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
He may not like it, but he's got to endure it. So, fans, if you enjoyed what you experienced here with me and the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Kalloway, tune in next Tuesday at the same time. It's 6 p.m. where me and Kevin, we break down Monday Night Raw. It's the Monday Night Raw review show on a Tuesday with me and Kevin Kalloway, part of the In Your House network. So come join us 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. Outside of that, guess what? We're diving into something that hits near and dear to me and House's heart. What is that? Yep, that's WCW. We love it. We can't get enough of it, and we're covering it. We're doing a WCW watch along, 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, where me and House we cover WCW. We just watched the first Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Nitro, and it was a fun time. We had a great time going back, seeing all the feathered haircuts, all the neon paints and pants, and it was a wild time, but a great time. And me and House are covering that. That's the WCW watch along on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. AEW, you say? We got a AEW Dynamite review show. That's where me, OG Tony, and House talk AEW Dynamite. It's a fun time. We cover it. We do a great segment on there at the end of the show. It's called The Loves and the Lows, and we give it to you. We let you know what we loved about that Dynamite and what we might have changed and what we may not have liked, hence loathe. And it's a fun time. You get to be a part of it. All of these shows have a great fan base and people who drive the conversation. So come hang out with In Your House. It's a huge network. We got the Smoke Sesh. We got the Sunday House Party. We got so many shows about to pop up on your airwaves with Kevin, with me, with House, with Jones, with everybody. So come be a part
House
of it.
and I thinking about doing a stream together.
Dude, that's
We
exciting.
got lots. We got things.
I'm looking forward to if you guys actually do a video game stream together. That's going to be something to tune into, fans. So stay tuned with the In Your House network and what we love most, professional wrestling. We will catch you on the next one. Bye. Oh, where'd the button go?